invite our beloved Honorable Principal Sir Atul Aire Sir to give an introductory speech for today's webinar. Welcome, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Vinesh Manal. Am I audible? Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Very good afternoon from the historical city of Bijapur, from Karnataka state of India. I, Dr. Atul Aire, am working as the director of BLD's technical campus, as well as the principal of the Dr. P.G. Halketi College of Engineering. And I welcome you on this particular afternoon on behalf of BLD Association. As you well aware that the BLD is a brand and the quality driven name in North Karnataka, India. And probably we are very happy to invite and discuss this issue called as a membership development forum on behalf of IEEE subsection. First of all, I'm very glad and to Dr. Vinesh Manal to organize this session. I invite now chief guest of today's function, Dr. Niranjan UC, chair of Mysore subsection. I'm very happy to connect with you, sir, Dr. Niranjan sir, and thank you for accepting our invitation. At the outset, I would like to give the glimpses of the BLD organization. Let me take this opportunity to brief about the BLD Association and the BLD Engineering College. As you know very well, the BLD is nothing but the Bijapur Lingayat District Education, and we have an association which is formulated in way back in 1910. It is not a profit for the organization catering to the education needs for underdeveloped privileged children and widening the education opportunity. But we are promoting the religious and the scientific and the general literature is one of the important activities of our BLD Association. BLD Association aims to achieve this objective by establishing schools, colleges, and the student hostels for poor students, and the association with a rich history of more than a century, and dedicated for the development to its wide education. Recently, we have a foundation paid, 111 foundation paid for the BLD. And we have more than 18 institutions wide across the Bijapur and Manipal district. And the BLD is very popular brand across the engineering fraternity. We have high schools, and the pre-university colleges, undergraduate colleges of the arts, science, commerce, law, management, education science, fine arts, pharmacy, nursing, nursery, sericulture, engineering, and polytechnic, obviously. We are renowned for the BLD University in the field of the medical. As a BLD Engineering College, we are ranked 53 in all India engineering institutions by Times Survey recently, and we are 9th in Karnataka. BLD Engineering College, which is located in Bijapur, it's covering almost 20 acres of the land, and we have this particular BLD Engineering College established in 1980. Institute has got the various MOUs with the foreign universities called the University of Poland, the Swansea University, then the Porto University of the Portugal, and obviously we are going to have some association with the foreign university in the near future. We have a very good tie-up with the Fortune 500 MNCs, and we have collaborated with the IIT, NIT, JNQ, and VTU. And obviously more than 40 doctorates and more than 200 faculty members on board. We are working since 1980 in the field of engineering and architecture, CA, polytechnic, and various other streams of the engineering. Our Honorable President, Dr. M.B. Patil, and along with the director board, and recently we have Mr. Rahul Patil, the young director, on board, who is guiding us to lead this institution at the global level. I'm very thankful for Dr. Niranjan sir for having this wide forum available for all engineering students. And literally, I tell you frankly, because almost I think the Karnataka and Maharashtra students are watching this particular program. I'm very glad to inform you that the BLE college is an active participant of IEEE since long. Recently, we conducted the IEEE BHTC, the Bangalore Humanitarian Technology Conference. It was supposed to be conducted at the BLE's technical campus in Bijapur, but due to the pandemic situation and the COVID, we had to take this particular organization online and virtual mode. I'm very thankful for Mr. Puneet Mishra, the IEEE Bangalore section chair, openly and very gracefully conducted this event on behalf of the IEEE Bangalore section as well as the college. And we are looking forward to connect with the Mysore subsection also. And that is why our students have organized this particular webinar this afternoon. At the same time, BLE has organized many programs in the field of banner competition, poster competition, blood donation camp, related activity. And I'm very fortunate that the IEEE is working in the field of the social engineering and sustainable engineering also. Because most of the students come to know that the IEEE is nothing but the electronics and the electrical related kind of activity, but it's not like that, because we have now the mechanical, the civil, and other streams of engineering, government which are included by the IEEE USA. That is why most of the students are getting the benefit of IEEE membership. As IEEE membership, it is very small in the nature, but the benefits for the students are very, very vast. And I think the IEEE, the student can connect to the most of the scientists and educationists and academicians, researchers and the technocrats in the field of any disciplines of engineering throughout the world. This particular global opportunity for the students is a great opportunity for the students to connect with all the scientists. This with the IEEE, I think that many of the students are getting the opportunity, but they are funded also. Some projects funded by IEEE. Very happy that some students at the faculty receive funds of more than I think 24 lakhs by IEEE. This because some of our new students are also aspiring students are connected with this forum, webinar. And I invite all the students to participate in the membership development program. I tell you frankly, sir, because we stood 15th rank way back in the month of maybe February. We had a very limited membership opportunity, but with the help of Dr. Dinesh Kumar and his young energetic team of the students, we moved to the second position in the all Karnataka. We are aiming for the first rank in the Karnataka, and we had just NIT Surat we were just ahead, and hopeful to complete this membership very, very soon, and we will be the number one. Recently, in the membership development, also we stood first in the entire Karnataka, and for which IEEE Bangalore section has acknowledged us by giving us $100 to the our membership forum also. We have recently launched NKSS logo competition also, for which all the prizes will be sponsored by the BLE. So we are mobilizing our participation. Obviously, student has to take the interest in all IEEE activity, and I'm very happy to share this. That the BLE will be the pioneer and the only institution in the Karnataka for major activities in the recent past as well as the near future also. I hope this my short speech will enlighten the new students as well as the existing students to enroll the membership under the umbrella of the IEEE, and they will get the benefit of the technology, the transformation, social environment, the environment. And will be enlightened. Thank you very much, and thank you, Dr. Niranjan and Dr. Dinesh for having that.
Thank you very much, sir, for your brief introduction about our BLDCET and for exploring the achievements of IEEE student branch. And now I request today's resource person, Dr. Niranjan sir, who is a Vice Chair of Mangalore Subsection, to explore his experience about the benefits of IEEE, how anybody can explore the benefits in UG program in academics, the benefits of IEEE, and how they can excel in the academics. Over to you, Niranjan sir.
Namaste all, and Professor Atul IRA and Professor Viresh Gunal. It's my pleasure to meet with all of you. I had been to BLD Engineering College last year in January for a workshop on instrumentation. I was really honored, and it was my proud privilege to visit your college, as well as Vachana Pitamaha Halakatti's museum, which is there in the medical college campus, because I am a follower of Basaveshwara, and all the Basava's Vachanas we could get because of Mr. Halakatti's endeavors and his efforts. And then I was so very happy to look at the printing machine which Mr. Halakatti used to print the first edition of the Vachana books. So today, as the chair of Mangaluru subsection, I would like to share with all of you how we built IEEE Mangaluru subsection, and I would mainly use the use cases, and then you try to give all the students the advantages of becoming a member of IEEE pictorially. I hope my slides are visible.
Sir, it is visible. It is visible, sir.
Okay. I'm Udupi Niranjan. I'm the chair of IEEE Mangalore subsection. As you can see from this slide, we are located in Nitte Engineering College of Mangaluru subsection. So the agenda of this talk will be, what are all the benefits if one becomes a member of IEEE? How did all of us pool our resources, and then we built IEEE Mangaluru subsection, and today it's a brand name. I'm very happy to share with you. I will also try to share with all of you my journey with IEEE as a student member, and then member, and a senior member, and my journey so far as a volunteer and office bearer of IEEE subsection. And I have few suggestions as to what are all the things which the student branches in the newly formed North Karnataka subsection can do, and if time permits, we can take some question and answer. So as all of you know, IEEE stands for the mission of IEEE is advancing the technological innovations for the benefit of humanity. We are all technologists, we are all engineers. We would like to use what we have studied in the universities and colleges. We want to apply the technology and want to make this world a better place. And then train our students with the cutting edge technology and the latest technology, and solve the problems of our society. So that is what is the mission of IEEE, and this can only be achieved through the members of IEEE, and who are all the volunteers of IEEE, and who propagate the mission of IEEE. So IEEE, as it was told by the Honorable Principal and also the branch counselor of BLD student branch, it's a global organization. It's one of the biggest technical society or the institute in the whole world. It has got about 400,000 members spread all over the world, and it runs about close to about 2,000 annual conferences every year all over the world, and it has got 39 technical societies. Though IEEE stands for Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineers, it is not that it caters to the needs of only electrical, electronics, and computer science engineers. We do have some societies, and we do collaborate with civil engineers and mechanical engineers. As all of you know, the the boundary between the engineering branches are blurring these days. If you look at the newer engineering branches, which are all starting in the various engineering colleges, you will see that there are these engineering branches such as biomedical engineering, which is marriage of medicine and biology and then engineering. And there is mechatronics engineering, which is electronics plus mechanical engineering, aerospace engineering, which needs all kinds of branches of engineering, instrumentation engineering, which is applicable in different branches of engineering and so on. So the emphasis these days, it looks like, even from the point of view of AICTE, to start application-oriented engineering courses in its institutions, because what industry needs is industry-ready engineers who are trained appropriately and then who can start working on their problems and then on their job immediately. So that being the case, we have 39 technical societies. I'm very happy that most of these societies are available in Bengaluru section. So as student members, you can all be part of these societies, and then you can volunteer, and you can get the benefits of these societies. You can arrange technical events of these societies in your colleges and in your region, in your subsection. You can invite distinguished lecturers. You can hold workshops and so on. And it is spread out in about 160 countries of the whole world. And one of the biggest technical repository or database is by IEEE. And if you publish a paper in an IEEE conference, that also goes and sits in this IEEE repository, which is known as Explore. And it is so technically enriching, and it is so a proud moment for any student and faculty member to publish an IEEE paper, and which goes and then appears in the IEEE Explore. And IEEE also doesn't give these technical papers free. It charges about $15, and from coming year it will charge about $22. That is how, it is an intellectual property of your work, which IEEE sells and then generates revenue for its activities spread all around the world. And IEEE has got some 170 top cited periodicals which are referred at the rate of about 10,000 magazines and papers are downloaded every hour throughout the world. So what are all the benefits of IEEE? See, knowledge is one thing, which I said. It organizes so many conferences, and then it has got so many technical magazines and journals, which as a member you can access freely and then utilize in your studies as well as in your research, in your teaching, and so on. And it has got a community of practicing engineers, engineers who are working in industry and academia, professors, researchers, and scientists, and so on. So all these community of engineers come together and network in various activities of the IEEE, such as workshops, conferences, summits, congress, and student training, and so on. So the students get an opportunity to meet with them and then get to know what is the current technology. It's a world view. It's a window to the world of technology, what is happening in the world. And as a profession, it's a great platform to connect to other people, and also to find out, seek jobs and then opportunities elsewhere. I have seen many members who have got connected to professional members of IEEE or various forums which IEEE organizes, and found their new jobs and found their new research collaborators, found their new interns whom they could invite into their university and then work with them. So it's a individual professional growth is also possible, because you have access to not only the knowledge but also the network of professional IEEE members. And it also gives you an opportunity to volunteer your time and your energy and your technical knowledge in various humanitarian projects as part of the student branch. Thus, you get the leadership qualities also. You get to your communication skills and management skills and time management and then human resource management and team working skills, all that can be garnered, all that can be grown as while you are volunteering your time for various activities of IEEE. And IEEE has got a special interest group for humanitarian technology, and which offers funding also to start projects for the benefit of the community of your locality, and one can make use of that. So this volunteering, we have seen many students who have become leaders in the industries because they could volunteer their time not only in the colleges but also in the IEEE. And you see, Professor Viresh was asking me that for the 2,000 rupees which you invest as a member into IEEE, how do you recover it back? So I would liken IEEE to a democracy. See, how do you get the benefit of democracy? You have to keep on participating. You have to engage yourself. You have to involve in its activities. It is not that once in a 5-year we go and cast our votes and then we sit at home. We have to keep on engaging with them. So similarly, having become member of IEEE, you have to constantly be in touch with them, participate with them, and volunteer your time and share your ideas and then talk to people. And that is how you derive benefits from being a member of IEEE. So these are some of the skills which I recently saw from a startup company in Udupi. Udupi is the place where I live. So you get all the technical knowledge, you get skills of reporting of your activities as well as reporting to your higher ups. You get how to manage projects and automation. How do you delegate the volunteering work to various other members? Logical and analytical skills, excellent communication skills, both in written as well as speaking. So these are some of the skills one can get by volunteering your time for IEEE. So I was telling, as members of student members of IEEE, you automatically become a member of an affinity group which is known as SITE, that is Special Interest Group on Humanitarian Technology. IEEE vouches for the Sustainable Development Goals of United Nations, which are all this, shelter, food, water, and energy, education, medicine, and so on. So as a member of this site group, which you will form in your student branch, you can propose a project in any of these areas, and then you will be funded once it is approved by the IEEE headquarters, which happens automatically after a few negotiations, and then after going to and fro, you will definitely get a $250 funding to do this project under the site affinity group. So what are all the societies? I'm sure Professor Mr. Puneet Mishra, who is the chair of Bangalore section, will talk about all this. But I would just like to show some of these societies. It has got 39 societies. I picked a few which are not in the area of electrical and electronics engineers, but which cater to the multidisciplinary areas such as aerospace, electronic systems, control systems, which is used in all branches of engineering. There is an education society. How do you impart engineering education very effectively? Electron devices, which is physics, electronics packaging, which is also physics, engineering in medicine and biology, geoscience and remote sensing, which caters to the needs of civil engineering, industry application society, and oceanic engineering. How do you use engineering principles in oceanic field, and product safety engineering, professional communication engineering, robotics and automation society, which is once again a multidisciplinary branch of engineering. And what are the social implications of technology? One can also look at that from a humanitarian and managerial perspective, technology and engineering management society, and so on. So you can all become members of these societies, and for students, it is the membership fees is very, very subsidized. For some of these societies, it is just $1 per year as membership fees, and you will get all by electronics media, electronic email, you will get all their magazines and then all their details and the information automatically to your registered email ID, so that by that way you can keep yourself abreast with what is happening all around the world in your field of interest. Another affinity group, which is known as women in engineering, because these days we see lots of women are there in as professionals in industries as well as in academia, and we see lots of women students in our engineering colleges. So IEEE has formed recently, maybe a decade ago, a group called Women in Engineering, which focuses on the problems and solutions, and how do you make them to sustain irrespective of their multitasking and family rearing and etc. How do they also contribute professionally to their engineering fields? So these are some of the things on which the IEEE WIE concentrates. And all students, once again, whether they are males or females, will automatically become members of this IEEE WIE affinity group without paying any additional fees. And then you can organize many events which can empower the local women, the rural women, and emancipate people, women who are all stuck in the patriarchal society and then patriarchal constrictions and restrictions. So you can work on all those problems through this WIE affinity group. Now I will go to how we built IEEE Mangalore subsection. Mangalore subsection is about 6 years old now, and this is the executive committee of 2019 of IEEE-MSS. MSS stands for Mangalore subsection. So as you can see here, we have professors, we have deans, we have principals among our executive committee, and it's a very inclusive committee. We have women, we are demographically also we are inclusive. We have very many young members in our Execom. We have PhDs from abroad, we have postdoctoral fellows from abroad, we have eminent accomplished professors who have written multiple IEEE transaction papers and technical textbooks are all there on our Execom. And CEOs of company industries are also present in our Execom. So we have made it an inclusive executive committee, and we see to it that every college has who has got a student branch of IEEE in the Mangalore subsection has got a representation in Execom, and we take a collective decision, a democratic decision by majority on all the events and activities which we hold. So what are all some of the flagship events of IEEE Mangalore subsection? We hold an annual general body meeting every January, where we meet up with all our student members and exchange our ideas and share our experiences, and then we change off guard of the office bearers of the executive committee. I2 Connect is a special event which we hold every year in order to encourage student projects, prototypes, and products. It's specifically meant for product exhibition and project exhibition for the students, which is a pan-Karnataka and pan-India competition. We give them prizes. We have distinguished lectures during that program. We have panel discussions, and we have tours of various industrial facilities. Discover is our annual international conference, which we hold in various student branches which come under our purview. And we celebrate IEEE Day every year on the first Tuesday of that year is celebrated as IEEE Day. And we celebrated with a commemoration lecture of Professor K.M. Hebar, who was an eminent professor of computer science in the region of Karnataka, coastal Karnataka, and he has got many of his students spread all around the world. And we make it a point to remember his contributions to our community, and we arrange for a technical talk. And this year we had a former student of Professor Hebar, who is also an IEEE fellow, speaking to all the students during the IEEE Day. And we have about 13 student branches under our purview, and all the surplus money revenue which we generate, we disperse to all our student branches, such that our students are empowered and they can take up their activities and events in their colleges and for their community. So we give them an avenue or a forum for local networking and mentoring. So these are the 4 editions of Discover Conference which we have held so far. Then the 2020 version will be held this weekend, that is this Friday and Saturday in a college close to Udupi. As you can see on the left side, we have the engineering colleges which hosted this conference, which are more than 60 years old. They are celebrating their diamond jubilees. On the right side, we have engineering colleges which are just about a decade old. And so we hand hold them, we train them, and such that the faculty members, the students can present their technical papers, write technical papers, and organize this event and invite eminent people, and then arrange talks, and then interact with them, and then collaborate with them, and so on. So it is not that we go in for only the top colleges, but we choose the venues of this Discover Conference in a democratic fashion. We ask for bidding of who wants to hold this Discover Conference, and democratically we vote, and then we choose who will be the next host of to organize this Discover Conference. So these are the activities where all the members meet up. So this on the left side you see one picture from the Discover Conference of 2016 in NITK. And on the right, you will see the picture of professional members during the annual general body meeting held in MIT Manipal. So some of the schemes which we advertise and then we put forth under Mangalore subsection is we emphasize on women in engineering activities. We encourage them. We encourage student branch activities. We financially assist them. We request them to hold faculty development programs, and we provide them distinguished lecturers free of cost, because the remuneration of these distinguished lecturers, we bear it from IEEE Bangalore subsection. We arrange hackathons through them, and then we give away the awards and the prize money through IEEE-MSS. We provide internships for our students through our industry partners, jobs to our graduating students. And those young members who are only professional members, we help them, we write them recommendation letters and give them referee letters and elevate them to the higher membership grade, which is known as a senior member. Student volunteering, you can go to local high schools and then PUC schools and then talk about computer programming, what is engineering. As a student branch volunteer, you can conduct all such activities, and many of our student branches do that. They go to the adult tinkering labs of these high schools and conduct laboratories, and then train the trainers. The teachers, some of them do not know how to use the equipments of an ATL lab, so they train the teachers on conducting practicals and projects. Village and panchayats have been adopted. Use of mobile phones for rural folk and geriatric senior citizens. Many of them may not know how to use the mobile phones. Our volunteers go and then teach them how to use mobile phones for payment options and for ration options and so on. Conduct technical workshops, and then recently we also conducted a webinar, a programming webinar, where we taught programming by the medium of instruction was in Kannada, so that all the rural students can also pick it up very quickly. So this is one picture of Kaliyona Bara, which the Kendra Engineering College conducts regularly, the student branch of that in the local high schools. The engineering graduates go there and teach the high school students. We hold our executive committee meetings on, because we are such a big section area-wise. We are 3 revenue districts in coastal Karnataka and 2 revenue districts in Malnad area. So many a times it may be difficult for us to go physically and then meet with our members. So we hold it online on WebEx, and we make it a point that we hold the meetings in the student branches and involve the students. We also hold some of the activities and meetings in industries, incubation centers of our engineering colleges. And we just do not go and then have a meeting. We also talk to the PhD scholars and research scholars in that college and try to mentor them and train them also. And the meetings are open to all grades of members. So I will now come to my journey with IEEE. I was a PhD student in Indian Institute of Science, and I became a student member in 1990. And later, after graduation with PhD, I became a professional member. And in 1995, I became a senior member, and I am a member of IEEE for last 30 years now. So some of the publications which you will automatically get freely if you become a member of IEEE are the Spectrum, and if you become an EMBS member, you will get an IEEE Pulse, and Women in Engineering magazine you will get, and Proceedings of IEEE, which is supposed to be one of the topmost technical journals of the world. That also you can subscribe, and then you can get all these publications. Many research ideas when I was a faculty member all came by reading in these reading articles from this magazine, and the articles in this magazine is not very technical. It doesn't have mathematical equations, and it doesn't have proofs. It is written in such a way that a common man, a layman, can also understand the latest technology, and you pick up ideas from that, and then you implement that, and then you write the technical papers or product ideas and so on. So that is one such technical paper which I wrote when I was a student in IISc, and it got best paper award in a conference of IEEE annual conference in Paris. So I got technical student travel grant to attend this conference in Paris. And during that time, this is close to about 33 decades ago. During that time, it was not electronic submission. It was, you had to type it on a paper and then send that paper physically to the conference managers, and then it will also be published in a physical paper format. But these days it is all in the electronic format, which you can send it off by emails. So after my stint as a student, I joined. I come from the area of Udupi, so that is my native place. So I joined as a member of the faculty in MIT Manipal. Luckily, my PhD was in the area of engineering and medicine. At the very same time, MIT also started a branch called biomedical engineering, because it has got a medical school, a university with allied health sciences, dentistry, pharmacy, and so on. So we could use our technical expertise in building this department. So I got as a student a student paper award. My student in MIT Manipal got a best student paper award in the same conference which was held in Hong Kong in 1998. And many of our students presented in the later years in the very same conference in 2004, 11, 13, and 17. And they personally went to all these conferences by taking travel grants from IEEE, AICTE, DST, and so on, and made presentations and talked to people, had collaborators, and so on. So this is, see, I just wanted to show you this picture because this is a student paper, what my student wrote in 1992 in MIT Manipal. At that time, we did not have, connectivity, email connectivity. So we were all, making presentations on transparencies. I don't know how many of you know that. And you have to use a sketch pen and then you will have to write everything on a transparency, which will be put on a projector, which has got a light, and then it gets projected onto the wall. So that is how we used to make our technical papers. In spite of that, we never lost hope, though it was physically very engrossing and then very, very difficult, but we did manage to write great technical papers. And we would go to our medical college hospital and then get pictures, medical pictures such as CT picture, X-ray picture on the films. There was no digitization available at that time. No machines had digitization possibilities. So we would bring it to our college and then we would scan it, digitize it, and then use it in our programs and then our products and projects, and then the results are published in the paper. So one of the greatest advantage of writing a technical paper is that you get a very technically in-depth, rich review from very eminent reviewers of your paper, who will not only give tell you what are all the flaws or what are all the appreciable factors and how you can improve your papers, how you can make the flow of your paper more effective, and what things need to be added and so on. So it's a great opportunity for people who write technical paper to get all this feedback from the reviewers, and incorporate all that, and then that whole experience become very, very technically enriching, such that you can accomplish bigger laurels and heights in your technical profession. As an undergraduate student, we were extremely happy in 1992-93 when our work, which we picked up from IEEE Spectrum magazine, and then we expanded that, appeared in a transaction in IEEE called IEEE Transactions on Information Technology in Biomedicine, which is a dream of any engineer or a practicing engineer or an academician. Some of the students whom I could train when I was a faculty member in MIT Manipal have risen to the positions of CEOs now. CEO of Microsoft, Satya Nadella, was my student in MIT Manipal, and Rajiv Suri, who was very recently, he was the CEO of Nokia, was also my student in MIT Manipal. And when he was recently welcomed in Manipal University, he said that the training which he, or the experience which he gained when he was a mess manager or a student council member, and all the management skills which he garnered or which he accomplished and accumulated when he was a student in MIT Manipal, the same skills he applies at Nokia today. And he has grown that Nokia from a loss-making company to a profit-making company. And he says it is the same skills of managing people, same skills of managing your finance. Only thing, the scales are different, and the multitude of the human capital or the resources which you have to manage is different. So as students, when you volunteer, you can afford to make mistakes because you are only students, and then it doesn't go and then become a final product or a prototype or things like that. There are always people to help you out, and seniors and your professors. But when you are a professional in an engineering industry, then you cannot afford to make any mistake. You cannot write afford to write a buggy software which will crash the whole computer system. So it is during the student years that you should experiment with all the avenues which are available to you, and IEEE provides you a large number of avenues like that. So these are some of my other students. Because I work in the area of biomedical engineering, they all have started their own startups, and then they are all very active in patient monitoring systems, and then cardiac monitoring systems, and also in nutritional diet and drinks and so on. So after that, one of my students invited me to come and then join him in his startup company to help him grow that company. So I for some reason I had to go leave the academia and then go and join this company called Manipal Dot Net, which is located in Manipal industrial area. So we do hardware and software design services for very many Silicon Valley companies from the USA, and these are some of the products which we displayed in one of the workshops held in Bengaluru. And we started with 3 people in Manipal about 15 years ago, and today we have grown to about 100 people. And we cater to we mainly take engineering graduates from our locality or our area, the talent from here. So they need not go to any Bangalore or Hubli, Pune or Hyderabad and so on. So they find job opportunities in the very place where they have educated and where their parents are and sibling or their hometown is, and they get to work on state-of-the-art, cutting-edge technology also. So this has been another enriching experience because of all the IEEE activities which I did, and we could build this company. This is a photograph which we took about 5-6 years, more than 6 years ago. And when we built our company, we started only with 3 people, but later, very many accomplished practicing engineers joined us, because there were no avenues for them in a place like Manipal to work other than in academia. So there were no possibilities for them to work in any industry. So on board, we have today 4 PhDs, and among the 4, I'm the only one who has got an Indian PhD, but the other 3 are from US, and they are from the top universities such as California, Berkeley, Southern California, and MIT, Massachusetts at Boston. And the top management of our company today has many alumni from NITK and JC Mysore, NIE Mysore, and so on. And they have rich experience of having worked in American companies and abroad, and they have brought all their expertise and experience, and they are building their own teams in the company, and that is how we have built this company. We work on very many, see, these are all the technologies which we learned when we were working in the company, such as FPGA and system on chip and GPUs and whatnot, and artificial intelligence and machine learning and so on. So some of the recognition which my company has received is the most innovative award in an international workshop which was held in Silicon Valley, which was voted by all the embedded engineers spread all around the world. And the government of Karnataka gave us the highest electronic hardware export award in the year 2018 and 19 in IT Conclave, which was held in Bangalore. And this is our chairperson who is receiving this award. I would just now come to, IEEE has got multiple organizing units. The higher organizing unit is known as a section. And underneath that comes the subsections. And then underneath that, we have what are known as student branches. So the IEEE Bengaluru section chair presently is a scientist who works in ISRO. And his name is Mr. Puneet Mishra, who will speak after my talk now. And under his leadership, there are 3 subsections which are functioning today in IEEE Bangalore section. We have Mysore section, subsection, which is headed by Professor Bindu Thomas, and the North Karnataka subsection, which all of you are affiliated to, is headed by Professor Jangam Shetty of Bagalkot Engineering College, and Mangalore subsection. So some of the plans I thought I will share with what you can think of in the North Karnataka subsection. You have industrial hubs. You have Udyanbag in Belgaum. You have IT Park in Hubli. You have industrial corridor between Hubli and Dharwad. And I'm sure there are many engineers and then industries there whose workforce or employees would like to be part of your IEEE, become members, and then train your students and also share their knowledge and also give internship and job opportunities for your students. So I think you should go and then drive membership with them, and then collectively, put them all on various ranks of NKSS IEEE subsection, and then involve them and engage them in your activities. I'm sure, like my startup, many startups are there, and I was when I was in Bijapur last year, I did meet up with many startup CEOs during that workshop, and I was so very happy that people in their midlife are leaving multinational companies and coming to smaller tier 2 and tier 3 cities, and then working towards establishing startup companies. Smart cities, you can engage with the smart cities, which is a Government of India initiative. Probably Hubli Dharwad is also one such smart city. You can involve with them and then offer your services and then engage in their activities. You have IIT Dharwad and IIIT Dharwad. I'm sure accomplished eminent professors from there who are all IEEE members would be very happy to share their experience and expertise with you and involve in your activities. All the engineering colleges, and you have many universities, like you have KLE University, and you have Karnataka University, Dharwad, and you have Central University of Gulbarga, which also has a IEEE student branch. I think you should involve all of them and then establish a very strong force and then negotiate with the Bangalore section and move some of the events and funding to your locality, such as the Bijapur Human Technology Conference, which was held in your college just this month, which was a grand success. So I think you should be able to organize all such conferences, which will benefit our own students and faculty members. I would like to take this opportunity to offer my homage to one of my mentor, Dr. Shivling Mahanshetty, who also studied, who hailed from Bailahongala, and then studied in Bijapur Sainik School, and then he established the analog VLSI Design Center in Texas Instruments, and then he established a VLSI design company in Manipal, which was known as Karmic, Karnataka Microelectronic Design Center. This is the first few members of that Karmic who are all from North Karnataka. The reason I put up this picture is that students should also think of working for startup companies, and then newer companies which are unknown, and then when you are young and then when you are student, you should gain knowledge and contribute later to the society. So this is one picture which I thought I will share with you. And these days, because of the internet revolution, you can sit in any part of the world and then spin off a technical company or a product or a prototype or a service. And what we thought Africa as a dark continent is also making great progress these days, and many unicorns are it is giving birth to many unicorns in countries like Nigeria, Kenya, South Africa, and so on. So these are some of the young entrepreneurs and engineers from African continent who have built e-commerce platform called Paystack, which has become a unicorn. And I look forward to the students of BLDE and the students of IEEE North Karnataka subsection to build such startup companies for the needs, to meet the needs of Bijapur local people, and then be successful. So I would complete my presentation now. I would like to dedicate this talk to all my colleagues on IEEE Mangalore subsection and Manipal Dot Net, my company, and my former students and present students, and all the colleges which invited me to share my experiences and expertise with them, and also especially to IEEE Bangalore section. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. I'm very thankful, Niranjan sir. You have covered a lot of information starting from the IEEE benefits, and your journey in the IEEE in last 30 years of your experience, and you have also covered how you can utilize your membership for excelling in academics as well as in your professional life. Thank you very much, sir. In a small interval of time, you have conveyed a lot of information which is more than our expectation. Your presentation was very, very excellent, and it will be very helpful for all our student members as well as our college faculties to understand about the IEEE benefits and all that. Thank you very much, sir. Now I request Punit Mishra sir, Chairperson IEEE Bangalore section, to share his experience about the IEEE communities, IEEE societies and councils, benefits of IEEE societies and councils for the IEEE members. Over to Punit sir.
Thank you, Dr. Viresh. So first of all, to see this because I was already having few meetings today, but somehow you get hold of me and I'm here. So I get today, and our friend Dr. Niranjan as well as
video
all
hang
veterans are this, and I'm very happy to see that students are participating for this webinar, which we are going to have it for our specifically our Dr. Vachan Pitama, Dr. P.G. Electric Engineering and Technology. I think here being chair, I was fortunate to travel only 3 colleges, and out of those 3 colleges, one college we came in the month of January, and another one was MIT, and third one was NIE. So these are the 3 places where I could visit, even though my aim was to have every weekend to have some road trip to some of the colleges so that we can build a larger community of IEEE volunteers as well as students and become world's largest section. So that was my aim, but that's what there is a saying, man proposes, God disposes. So even though I wanted to travel a lot and meet all of you in person, but because of COVID-19, it could not happen. Now I am coming to my presentation, which Dr. Viresh told me to cover. He wanted me to share about IEEE societies. So in that connection, I hope you.
We can see you. Yes, sir, we can see.
Good. Most of the things about IEEE entering in IEEE. So already we are slightly late, and I have a hard stop at 3:15. So I will try to cover in a very kind of student branch.
Puneet sir, your audio is clear. It is breaking. Puneet sir, your voice is breaking. Your voice is breaking. It is not clear. No, sir, not yet, sir. Hello, will you please come in the network area, sir? I think you are in a very weak network.
Network wise, it is much better, but I don't know why it is.
Now it is
Now it is
okay.
okay.
Now it is very okay, sir. Okay, sir, continue, please.
Yeah. So you see how to form a society chapter should be and you can know this can be available. So you one faculty, 6 students are required to 6 can be engaged in addition to student branch.
Puneet sir. Puneet sir.
Societies, students, they will in those areas. Society, money. The moment when some kind of shit money and even subsection, because we want to have activities for the students, so that way at least few of the society in the IEEE benefit of department faculty members. Suppose any faculty member is working in an antenna, so they can own and start the formation of antenna and propagation society. If anybody is working signal processing area, they can go for signal processing society. Or communication area, they can go for communication society. If you are interested in VLSI circuits and systems, you can go for circuits and system society or solid state circuit society or electronics packaging society. If you are interested in microwave, then you can open for microwave theory and technique society. Actually, I missed one. There is one electromagnetic compatibility society is also there, which is mostly for electric. And if you are, then photonic society is also there. I was telling about entrepreneurship and opening your own company in the rural area. So if you are looking towards those, then industrial electronics means electrical engineering or electrical and electronics engineering department. You can open control system society, dielectrics and electrical insulation society, power electronics society, power and energy society, product safety engineering, ultrasonic ferroelectrics and frequency control society, industry application society, instrumentation and measurement. Depending upon faculties in
Yes, sir. Yeah, much disturbance is there, sir. Your voice is breaking.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Able to hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, now I can hear you properly, sir.
So I was talking about electric. There is control system society, dielectrics and you have to meet your, and that's why eco is coming.
We have muted, sir.
If your faculty
Viresh, sir,
members
you also
are
mute,
interested
please.
in power electronics, so faculty members in the area of power and energy societies and open a student branch chapter there. Also next ferroelectric diesel or frequency control, then be having membership in this particular society and they can start a student branch chapter there. Again, industry application is the area where electrical or EEE students can participate. Then instrumentation and measurement is this is bread and butter of electrical engineers. So this is the another society where we can become member as well as. Similarly, in the case of magnetic society, CS department, CS department, actually whatever I have mentioned, those previous societies, they can be part of that, as well as also try to open computational intelligence society or actually computer society is the largest society in IEEE as on today, and several initiatives for the students. They give several scholarships, they give several, they organize IEEE and several avenues for faculty members also for getting the, as well as for a student branch chapter. And in fact, can even in the engineering or electronics engineering as well as in CS department, but because now these days mostly computational things are related with information theory, so I have kept it here. This is again interdisciplinary society which anybody can open. Environmental engineering department, suppose if your college has or any other department, if they want to have something related to Society for Social Implication and Technology, then SSIT or Nuclear Plasma Society or Education, mostly members, they should be part of this education society. How to teach, how to enhance their teaching expertise in this education through via education society. And then there is a consumer technology society. Again, this is for students and faculty members who are related to consumer technology, startups, to open their companies, companies. So these are any department. Technical students can be part. The intelligent transportation system. Autonomous vehicle, unmanned vehicle, and and the membership is very small. I think only $1. And society, again, electric mobility is the hot topic. So all electrical engineer, mechanical engineer, automobile engineer, or electronics engineers, mobility member of, you can be always ahead of your peers. Society, they are talking about, they are making the white paper or the future directions of those areas. So that are involved from the beginning in these societies, you can be also ahead of your peers. So that is the importance of these societies. Then again, reliability. Ranjan may appreciate that reliability is another area. If you, it is not only that you should
Hello, Puneet sir. Can you hear me, Puneet sir? Hello, can you hear me,
an
sir?
electrical engineer or computer engineer. Similarly, for the civil, there are two important societies. They are geoscience and remote sensing societies, as well as oceanic society. So civil department students can be part of this. Even MBA and human also can own these societies are faculty members. If they are becoming an IEEE member, they can be part of these societies. They are professional. Actually, there is a typo. There is a professional communication society, and another important society is technology and engineering management society. So these are these two societies. MBA or humanities department can own, and they open the societies in this particular field. So with this, again, I have a hard stop. So I will be stopping my presentation at this point of time. If you are having any questions, I will be taking because I have to move to another meeting.
Thank you very much, Puneet Mishra sir. Thanks for taking some time for our webinar in your busy schedule and joining us with lot of information related to the society. And thank you very much, sir. Participants, my dear participants, if any one of you are having any questions, queries, please do ask us. Please type in the chat box so that I will raise that particular question to the resource persons. They can answer your queries. Dear participants, any queries are there? If any queries are there, please type in the chat box. I will raise that particular questions to the resource persons. They will clarify your queries. Particularly, I am very much interested to know the queries from mechanical engineering department, automobile engineering department, civil engineering department, and architecture. Any faculties or students having any queries regarding the IEEE benefits societies, please type your queries in the comment box. I will raise your query to the resource person so that they can clarify your queries. Today's webinar is specially arranged for non-circuit branch departments, faculty as well as for the students. So I'm very much interested to know the queries from the faculties and students of non-circuit branches like civil, architecture, mechanical and automobile engineering. Feel free to type your queries. I will raise those queries to the resource person so that they will clarify.
Professor Veeresh, there is one question in the chat window.
Yes, sir, I will just look into it. Hello. I don't find any question here, sir, in the chat box.
One question Mr. Ashish has asked, how much is the fees for joining and when we can join IEEE?
As far as joining the IEEE is concerned, anybody can join the IEEE at any particular moment. So preferably there are some special offers running, especially in the after March or March, April. If you join, you are going to have 50% subsidy in the fees. So there, by paying 50% of the registration fee, you can join the IEEE membership. You can have the IEEE membership with 50% of the membership fee. Secondly, if after November, after August, July, August, if you join IEEE, you are supposed to pay only 1 year fees, and you are going to get a bonus of 5 to 6 months membership for you, for any particular person who are going to join. So at the cost of 1 year membership, the new members will be, if they join in the month of July, August or September, like that, they are going to get 5 to 6 months of bonus membership period. And for student, there are 3 categories of membership. You can go for professional, traditional membership. Traditional membership costs you $158, $152, sorry. And you can go with the professional electronic membership, which costs you $85. And we have student membership, $27. $27 amounts to 1860 rupees in Indian currency. So the best period for joining the IEEE is either you can plan in the month of July, August, so that you are going to have you plan in the month of March, April, so that you are going to have 50% subsidy in the membership, student membership fees. And if you are in the month of after July, August, you are going to pay 1 year membership, but you are going to enjoy 1.5 years of subscription for IEEE. Students of any discipline can join IEEE. There is no restriction. They can be of any particular engineering stream, or even non-engineering stream can also join this particular IEEE. Various societies are available. Looking into the stream in which they are interested, they can choose the registration for the appropriate societies also. Various activities are being framed in the societies. You can participate over there. As our today's resource person Niranjan sir has told, more and more you participate, more and more you come to know, more and more experience you are going to get, and accordingly you will be getting benefited for your investment what you have made in the IEEE in terms of knowledge gaining, leadership, and volunteering opportunities. If anybody are having any more queries, and if they are unable to post your particular queries on the chat box, feel free to contact me, branch counselor, Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering, Professor Veeresh Gonal, or else you can also contact our student branch chair, Mr. Prasanna Maidargi. They will solve your queries or doubts, whatever it is related with IEEE and IEEE societies and councils. So I take now the opportunity to convey my vote of thanks. I'm very much thankful to Dr. U.C. Niranjan sir, Chairperson, Mangalore Subsection, for accepting our invitation with a short notice and sparing his valuable time with us and our particular faculties and the students to share his experience about the IEEE and to explore the information regarding how we can make our academics excelled through IEEE and what all the resources, what all the opportunities are available in the IEEE. He has covered up in a very short time. He has covered all the aspects of IEEE benefits. I'm very, very thankful, Niranjan sir. And secondly, I'm very thankful to Punit sir, Chairperson Bangalore section, for joining us in spite of his busy schedule for exploring the information regarding the benefits of IEEE societies to our faculties as well as the students of our institute and also the member participants who have participated from the other particular institute also. Now, I will also take the opportunity to thank our management, our principal sir, Honorable Dr. Atul Aire sir, for giving the opportunity for organizing this webinar, for giving the encouragement, for circulating the, for intimating the faculties as well as students for making the participation in this particular webinar. I'm very thankful to you, sir. And I'm also very much thankful to all the participants, faculties of our institute, as well as the faculties and the students of other particular institute for joining this particular webinar and understanding the information of today's webinar. Thank you, one and all.
Before you conclude, Professor Viresh,
Yes,
I would
sir.
like to say that students who become members of IEEE, once they graduate and become employees of companies like IBM, Intel, or other companies, the company itself reimburses your professional fees. So all your investment is only during your student time, which is very, very subsidized, which is about 27 US dollars per year for about 3 or 4 years when you're students. But once you graduate and become an employee, your employer only will bear the expenses of your professional IEEE membership fees. So that's a great investment. And your employer will also look into your CV and then hire you because of your volunteering experience and then your involvement and engagement with IEEE. So therefore, it really makes a very, very good reason as to why a student should become a member of IEEE. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for timely information. This very wonderful information that you have passed on to us as well as to our particular students so that they can plan their career with IEEE in a very excellent way. And my special thanks and regards to Ashwini Madam, Ashwini Holla Madam, as well as to Raghavendra Prasad sir for cooperating and coordinating in organizing this particular webinar, as well as helping us in conduction of events over the WebEx. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, one and all. So let us take leave. All of you switch on your cameras. Let us have one group photos. Atul sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Niranjan sir.